And welcome to this edition of the Native News Update on this Tuesday, July 26th. I'm your host for today's program, Paul DeMain. Many of the stories right here can also be found at our website at IndianCountryNews.com, and here are some of the news stories from the day from the Associated Press and other Native news sources. Navajo Nation lawmakers have voted to prohibit smoking in public places on the vast reservation with an exemption for tribal casinos. The lawmakers heavily debated the measure before voting 14-5 in favor of it recently. Under the bill, the Tribal Council can reconsider the casino exemption once gaming officials pay off their financing debts. Some lawmakers saw smoking or chewing tobacco as a personal right that shouldn't be regulated by tribal government and argued that a ban would inhibit gaming revenue. Critics says no one should be exposed to involuntary to secondhand smoke and that any exemption sends the wrong message to Navajo youth. The Cherokee Nation Supreme Court last week threw out the results of a disputed election to determine the chief of Oklahoma's largest Native American tribe following weeks of legal wrangling and multiple vote tallies that each came out with a different number. The court's ruling means a new election will be held in Tahlequah, although a date has not been set for by the five-justice court. At stake is the leadership of the 300,000-member Cherokee Nation, one of the largest tribes in the United States. Uncertainty about the accuracy of the results of the June 25th election and repeated flip-flopping in terms of the declared winner in the close and bitter contested contest has eroded confidence amongst Cherokee voters. In its two-page final order, the court ruled that it was impossible to determine with a mathematical certainty the winner of the election, which had drawn comparisons to the recount in the 200 presidential election in Florida involving Republican George W. Bush and Democrat Al Gore. Bush ultimately won Florida and its electoral votes by fewer than 200 votes out of 6 million cast. In this case, the incumbent president, Chad Smith, won by 5 official votes as announced last week. They might call this election with one hanging Chad. In the Cherokee election, Tribal Council member Bill John Baker has twice been declared winner, but so has his opponent, incumbent Principal Chief Chad Smith. The official results of the most recent recount put Smith ahead by 4 votes, one fewer than in the unofficial results announced July 17th. Navajo Code talker Joe Morris, one of more than 400 American Indians who used the language of their ancestors to relay secret battlefield orders during World War II, has passed on. He was 85 years old. The longtime resident of the Mojave Desert community of Daggett passed last week after a stroke at the Veterans Administration Loma Linda healthcare system, according to spokesman David Allen. Morris kept secret what he did during the Marine Corps service until President Ronald Reagan declassified the role of the Code Talkers in 1982. Morris then began giving presentations to school and colleges. The Navajo dialect never left the Southwest United States, and the language was never written down. The Japanese had no way of learning it at the time, and the complicated nature of the language made it difficult for others to learn. 29 original Code Talkers were recruited to train another 400 Navajo to work as communicators, and then other tribes joined in the process as well. The Ponca Tribe of Nebraska will get $108,000 in grants to study its long-term energy options. The funding is among $6.3 million in grants recently announced by the U.S. Department of Energy. The money will be handed out over the next 2 years and help tribes carry out 31 different projects. The Ponca grant will help the tribe develop a strategic energy plan and identify possible clean energy sources. An animals rights group is publicizing potential danger to children in an effort to shut down Cherokee, what they call the Cherokee Bear Zoos. The Asheville Citizen-Times in North Carolina reported last week that the new billboard near Asheville shows a little girl crying with a bloodied bandage on one of her hands and the words, "Children bitten at bear pits." The billboard is the latest in a 2-year battle that People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals has waged against some of the bear zoos on the reservation. Some of the zoos are concrete block pens that let tourists see and feed bears from above. PETA says they are inhumane. Zoo owners say the tourist attractions are important to the local economy. The billboard stems from an incident last summer in which a 9-year-old girl was bitten while feeding a baby bear. Young men and women from American Indian communities across the country are in Santa Fe this week for the National Intertribal Youth Summit. The leadership conference will feature officials from the White House, the Department of Justice, and other agencies. Pro golfer Nota Begay also plans to make an appearance. Sessions will focus on leadership, healthy lifestyles, education, substance and alcohol abuse, culture, community development, and many other issues. And on August 1st, a teleconference seminar on coal mining in Alaska, hazards to human health and the environment, will be held from 9 to 10 a.m. as part of the Alaska Collaboration on Health and Environmental Teleconference Seminar Series. Guest presenters Michelle Provost, MD, and Dennis Gann of Cook Inlet Keeper will discuss contaminants that are released during mining, processing, and transportation of coal, how living near coal mines can lead to adverse health effects, and how coal mining operations contaminate drinking water and surface water. Find out more about proposed plans to develop mines at Chutna and Wishbone Hill, why communities are concerned, and how you can get involved in protecting public health, salmon, and water quality from coal contaminants. For more information or to join the free call and receive the dial-up instructions, please make a reservation at ACAT at DIANA@akaction.org or call 907-222-7714. And we'll put that information up on the ticker for you to get it. And that is the latest roundup of news from Indian Country on this edition of the Native News Update. Miigwech for showing up. Come back again soon.